a scope to work down, so you're not going to be having to bring in a microscope and do all that. So I'm going to show you setup. It's a little bit odd at first, I'm not going to lie, for setup, because there's a couple little connections that you need to hook up, but it'll all be color coded, so hopefully when you see it and you pull it out, you'll know like red goes to red, yellow plugs into yellow, and so such. The products are going to be kept over in the Neuro cart. There's 2 black boxes, and the reason for 2 black boxes, we've got an 8mm Surgiscope and a 15mm Surgiscope. So the 15 is a little bit bigger. Hopefully they'll start with that. I think optics are better, and they give them a bigger diameter to work down. So both boxes are labeled. So if you're going to use the 15, we'll grab the 15mm Surgiscope box, and then we've got down here the 8mm. The disposables are going to be kept up on top, and then these 2 are going to be kept in the open door down towards the bottom. So,
Where is up top?
On top of the cabinet.
On top of the Neuro, on top of the cart. There's a here. I think it's right next to the adherus, right? I think the adherus is right on top. It's just as you're looking to the left of the adherus. And then below that, at the very bottom, those glass doors, bottom right, that's where the 2 hard cases are going to be kept. So we'll put it away every time we use it. So I'll pull this out and open it. So you're gonna have this reel in here, and then you're gonna have this USB connector. You're gonna have power cord, and you're gonna have your box here, your image control box. So we'll start with the box. So here's your power cord. Let's go through plugging it in and ask any questions along the way. I'm going to leave a non-sterile, it's going to be in it's right there on that bed. I'm going to leave a non-sterile scope of an 8 and a 15. So when you're hooking it up and have everything hooked up, we can plug that in just for peace of mind and everything, especially the first few times, peace of mind that we've got everything, we're going to get an image to where we need to see. Right. So plug the power to the camera box in. Here's the second power cord that's going to go to the reel. So I put red tape to red tape here. Hopefully that will stay. It won't come undone. Plug that there. And then there's a DVI input over here. I was just in it. It's right here. There's a DVI input. The final setup, there's a little yellow, it's like a micro USB here, and then I've put yellow tape on the back of it. Just kind of pair that up. Flat side on top. Plugged in, and then you got the power button here. Turn that on. So it should go through, should boot up. All right, so there's our screen that shows it's loading. And then once it's fully loaded, it'll say check cable connections. So once we've got that, I'll put that scope over here. So now we're ready to plug the scope in. So now you'll see what the scope looks like. So here's what the 15 looks like. So surgeon's going to have focal ring here. The 8 does not have a focal ring. It's just a single autofocus. This can be used to hold, or they can attach it to a Greenberg retractor. If like they're doing a tumor, they're going to be in like a fixed place for the period of time working. The other thing, this obturator fits down, and they know this. They should know this. They're going to use their brain lab probe that's going to go in here when they're going to their destination. On insertion, there's a little ledge for the surgeon to hold because it doesn't lock in. They've got to hold this in when they get to their destination. So the final thing to plug in, we've got the cord. We've got 2 arrows pointing front and back. That goes 12 o'clock, just like pretty much anything else you're plugging in the OR. And then they should have, and then that's what they're going to be working down. So. What's that?
It's like a hand.
It is a hand. But it's even better than trying to light up the whole room. But yeah, so that's what they'll have, and that's what they'll be, using to get the tumors out, or on that bloody ICH to remove that clot. So, any questions on that? I know it was a lot in a short period of time.
So I see you have like an extra reel of cable there. So when we're actually doing this, is this sitting on top of like our bogey and then?
They can sit it on top of the Bowie. It's something I can talk to them about and see. So a lot of times you could put this in a sterile vat. I haven't seen it done that way. I'm just saying it's an option. Because what the circulator, if they have to do anything, like if they want brightness, and I was going to go through that next on here, there shouldn't be much playing around with the image control box, but it's kind of, it made it sound like Amy was going to like use a Mayo or something like this and put it over to, especially because we got to be below this. Because the only other option is to unplug, like if it was a room with a boom, to unplug the DVI out of the striker camera box and plug it in over there. That would be the only other. But to be consistent, I know you got DVI input on all these in the rooms. So, but you have a lot of room. You do have a lot of cable that you can move this around. So, I'm just trying to keep it somewhat clean for this. Any questions on setup? Any questions on? Yes.
I already said this. Which piece is the sterile piece?
So so the only thing that they're gonna hand off to the circulator will be the scope, and if they use the evacuator. So I was gonna get to this. You guys are gonna have this. You guys are gonna have the evacuator plus coax. So it has a little whisk on the distal tip. Press the button here, and they control their suction. But so this will hook up to suction. You'll have a little part for your bipolar. And then you're going to have a spot for irrigation. It's a constant drip. It's not like it's just going to be a slow, constant drip to help clear the field. So this comes in a box. This is what I was talking about. It's on top of that neuro cart. This is going to say Aurora evacuator plus coag. And then to the left of them are going to be your 15 millimeter scopes, whether it's a 60 length or an 80 length. You have two of those. And on the 8 millimeter, you just have one. It's an 8 millimeter 100 length. So those two items are the only thing sterile. They're open up on the sterile field and passed off.
Yeah, you mentioned there's a piece attached to the green motor tracker.
Yeah. So if they want to keep it fixed, there's a spot here. They can attach this to the green bird retractor.
So that metal piece.
Yes,
is
this
also
metal piece. Yep.
sterile.
Yep. And when this comes, so when the 15 comes out in the sterile packaging, this is important. It's going to come with the camera not attached to. So you're going to. The focal ring is going to be opposite of the retractor. You're just going to push. It's pretty simple. Just kind of put it at an angle and snap it down. No silly questions.
So all that's gonna come up in one tray.
It's again. This is disposable. This is yep.
Okay.
So this is going to come in a box that's sitting up there next to
Who's
the.
gonna get that little
You- This is all. This whole camera and control car operator are going to come in one package.
It's all disposable.
Yep, and it comes. It's gonna come in a box. It's gonna come in a. It's gonna come like this,
Okay.
in a plastic, in a box. That's what it's gonna be. I know it's a lot first time. That's why I'm hoping it's done, and I can be here for the first time. Any questions on?
Will your card be on the
My
boxes?
phone number's
Okay.
labeled on top of here.